All right, welcome to this edition of the Montana Majority Report, where we take you right inside the halls of your capital here in Montana. I am the president of the Montana Senate, Matt Regier, also senator for Senate District 5 up there in Kalispell. Now, I'm joined by a great guest here today, Representative Regier. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thanks for having me on.
Well, we're here to talk about your bill, is House Bill 388. And it's about pregnancy centers and we've. I think this is so timely, especially coming off last 4 years of the Biden administration. That you saw attacks on pregnancy centers, and we saw graffiti on there. We saw pro-lifers that have gone to prison, and I think that has just ratcheted up. Everybody in America has different ideas, right? But that has kind of taken it to a level of everybody's got free speech, too, and let a pregnancy center do what a pregnancy center wants to do, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. So can you tell us a little bit about the genesis of this bill, where it came from?
Yeah, you bet. House Bill 388 protects care centers, pregnancy care centers, from government overreach that would prevent them from promoting their mission. So anything that forces them to say, to promote abortions, whether it be even contraception to an actual procedure where to have that done. If it goes against their mission, they don't have to talk about it. So it protects their First Amendment rights, essentially.
So it's really a free speech
Correct.
Baseline.
It's free speech, yep.
So the target that's on a pregnancy center that says, hey, we're pro-life and we protect life, we want to stand for life, and don't want a heavy hand of government coming in and saying, hey, no, you have to refer abortions, or is that an example of what would be
Yes.
an infringement on free speech?
Yep, that would be a great example to have to refer for abortion. They don't. They would not need to do that. And this bill has come about since the overturning of Roe v. Wade and the Dobbs decision. There have been numerous states and local municipalities that have tried to impose laws on pregnancy centers to have to do things that would go against their mission in regards to abortion. So this is just the opposite of that, to safeguard them from having to promote something that goes against their mission.
Sure. You use the word tried in there. Have they succeeded, or has this been stopped in the courts? Or
so in 2016, there was a law in California that the courts overturned. That law was trying to prohibit care centers from not referring for abortions, and that was stopped in the courts. But there have been a number of attempts to try to force them to do that. So
where does this bill land in the process? I know you're in the House. Is it over to me in the Senate here, or
it's over to you in the Senate? It's in your fine hands over there. Yeah. We had a great hearing last week in Senate Judiciary, and it passed out of committee, and it will be heard on the floor for second reading there in the Senate.
What would be the opposite take on this? What was the opposition?
Yeah, very interesting. The opposition was really centered around trying to make care centers look like they were spreading misinformation, which, as you listen to some of this testimony, it really kind of proved the point of why we need this bill to actually protect care centers. And I will say the other ironic thing in there is the opposition kept referring to these care centers as unregulated, and I will say that is a falsehood, that they have boards of directors. They follow, if they're a medical clinic, they follow all the state and federal guidelines. There was a bill last session to regulate abortion facilities that passed the legislature, and then Planned Parenthood immediately sued, and that law is enjoined. So they aren't even regulated themselves, so and don't want to be. So
regulate you, but free speech for me, kind of notion.
Correct.
And, yeah, it's kind of human nature, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Want your cake and eat it too. Well, that's great. Is there any other final thoughts on this? How's the vote count looking? Is it? Are you expecting it to get to the finish line?
I do expect it to get to the finish line. It came out on party lines out of the House and out of committee as well. So I expect that till the end, and I do expect the governor to sign this one as well.
It does seem like a straightforward bill on free speech, of even if you're pro-life or pro-choice, that this should be something that we should stand for letting each organization stand for what they will.
That is correct.
All right. Well, thanks a bunch for joining us, Representative Regier. Can't wait to do this again next time.
Thanks for having me.